and welcome to MICDROP. This is Pranjal.
And this is Chaitanya.
And in today's episode, we are diving into Placement Pulse, Bold Perspectives, the podcast where we are decoding placements, industry trends, and the art of building impactful careers.
It is said that Kakachista, Vakodhyanam, Swananidra, Tathaivacha, Alpahari, Gruhatyagi, Vidyarthi, Panchalakshanam.
Arthat, just like the tireless effort of the crow, the unwavering focus of a crane, and the alertness of a dog, a true learner must embody patience, resilience, and sacrifice. With that thought in mind, let us take a step back and understand the journey of someone who has been shaping countless careers. We are honored to have with us Mrs. Aditi Ganage ma'am, Deputy Director of CRD at MMCOE, a driving force behind student career transformations and a bridge between academia and industry.
Welcome to the podcast, ma'am.
Thank you for having me over.
So, a student's journey isn't just about what they learn, it's about who they become. So, let's uncover the stories, strategies, and secrets about placement success.
Okay.
So ma'am, could you tell us how does the college build and maintain relationships with recruiters, and what are the factors that influence a company's decision to visit our campus?
Okay, so I'll answer the second part first. For a college to be eligible, a lot of accreditations, a lot of skill development programs, what we conduct at college, are all considered by a company when it approaches us or when we approach. Also, the company wants to see students in a certain eligible criteria, so they look at how many students have a CGPA above 7 or 8 or 9. That is also one of the criteria what a company looks into. What was the first question?
Ma'am, how does the college build and maintain relationship with the recruiters?
So the CRD cell, which has TPOs from all our colleges, they get in touch with all the companies, and we liaison with them, and we see what openings they have for internships or for jobs, and that is how we further carry out the process. And from there, whenever the company has any opening, they get back in touch with us.
Okay, ma'am.
The placement process seems structured, but I'm sure that lots of things are happening behind the scenes. So, can you please walk through us in that entire process?
Okay. So let's start from when we get a requirement from the company. So a company approaches us, or we approach whenever we come to know that there is an opening with the company. They give us an eligibility criteria. They give us a job description that this is what is required of the student. Even though it's a fresher, sometimes it is a different domain. There are so many domains in computer or mechanical or whatever. Then we float the requirement of the company, what is needed by them, onto our softwares, which is POD, which you are aware, which we are having it from this year. And from there, whoever are eligible are allowed to apply, or can apply rather. After that, we send this data to the company with all their CGPAs and all those requirements what the company needs. From there, then they send us a selected list. So they also have their own screening process. And then they have this parameters what they have set. We get this list to us. So once we get the list, then the company informs us whether they want to come onto the campus or they want us to send the students off campus. So then the first round is usually the aptitude round. After the aptitude round is cleared, then if it is a soft branch, then they have the coding round. After the coding round, then they have technical interview rounds. So most of the companies have this process, where they have aptitude, coding, technical round 1, probably a technical L2 also, and then they have their HR round, which is the final round. So this is the usual process what companies adopt, on campus or off campus, whatever.
So basically, I have observed that like from the previous year, this year there are like few new companies which came to our college. Now, can you tell us that which are those companies which come to our college like new or something?
So for core, we have just started, because usually for core we have companies coming after the month of April or May. So because core companies want the final year results, the last semester results, which is very crucial to them. But so for the core we have Yazaki, Mercedes, which have been added on to this year. For the soft we have quite a few additions. We have Cognizant, we have Bentley, we have Health Level. There are quite a few companies. These are just which come up to my mind, which are the new ones. So Zensar also we did a 10 lakh per annum which we had 2 students who qualified for that round. So it's been an exceptionally good season this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel same.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Okay. So ma'am, in one of your answers, you mentioned that the company sends out requirements to the students about the technical skills that they require. But observing throughout, like when we talk to senior engineers or people who are working in office for like 20-25 years now, if you see that the landscape has changed a lot about placements it has changed significantly. So earlier a degree was just enough, but now we have to do beyond the degree. We have to learn skills, we have to do things from outside. So could you just tell us what are the skills that a student must focus on right now?
So for the soft branches, I would say before you pursue some other courses, you have to be very good at coding, because when you want to be a software developer or you want to get into core coding jobs, you have to be very good at it, be it your C++ or your Java. Python, yes, it is an upcoming language, but what most recruiters want, their filtration point is how good is the student in C++ or Java. The logic is good, the logic is in place even if he's using Python, but they want to know how good he is in C and Java. You first master this. Once you are done with this, over and above, then you have some courses from Cisco, some courses from Infosys. There is a wide array. You have to decide what suits you best and where you really want to go in the long run, what stream you want to pursue. But I would say that upskill only to a certain extent, but first make your basics very strong. If your fundamentals are weak, there is no point how many ever courses you have done from XYZ Academy, from wherever, and you have it on your profile.
Yes ma'am, all of this information was very helpful.
So ma'am, also I wanted to ask something related to this only. So basically when a person is coming newly to this college, like if he's a first year student and he's coming from different backgrounds, like he's having different interests in different things, but when they're getting centralized in an engineering college, they have to like mostly focus on the coding part. They have to focus on the logic building and they have to go everything technically. So how do they generate their interest initially while coming into the college? How do they be prepared of their mindset?
See, if you are taking admission into a soft branch, obviously somewhere in your mind you have made up your mind that okay, I want to get into computing, and in computing the first thing is what you become a full stack developer, or you become that's the basic of it when you take admission for computer engineering. Now I would advise the core students, when they come for core, it should not be okay, I did not get admission to a computer seat or a IT seat, the next best available was ENTC, and I got into ENTC, but I want to make my career in computing. That would be a little misleading, for you're fooling yourself also and you are fooling the college also, because then if you are not paying attention to your core subjects and you somewhere down the line, first year, second year, third year is not going to have, the core is not going to have a lot of coding. The core is not going to do Java, the core is not going to do C++, they are going to do their embedded and they are going to do their mechanical subjects. So it's not that you haven't made up your mind. When you join the college, when you take a particular stream, somewhere you have made up your mind. Again, students who are from their core and they want to get into computing, for them it is very essential from day one they join extra courses or something which is going to help them in their coding.
Yes.
Otherwise it is going to get very difficult, because the syllabus does not contain the necessary requirements, what is needed of a coder.
So basically they have to be prepared before coming to the college. They have to make the mindset.
Yes, yes.
So while going on for the like in this process only, there is a very big topic, internships. Like while going for internships, like they're having like how to be prepared for internships, what types of internship you have to do, long term, short term or something, and like how people have to, like the students have to ensure that case this is good for them.
See, your internships happen in your third year.
Yeah.
By that time you are quite familiar with all the subjects what you are going to have. You are familiar with what domains are available in your department.
Yes.
So then you are able to narrow down that these are the internships what I would wish to go for. Now wish list is one thing,
Yeah.
and what is available is one thing. So then you need to, if whatever you wish and it's available in the market for the internship, paid or unpaid, you can make a choice. The choice is entirely up to the student. But if there is nothing remotely available what you would like to do, then it can sometimes get a little challenging because it's just a 3 weeks. How many weeks do you do?
I have done for 3 months.
Okay.
But basically the problem was like I have started and I was having more interest in UI or something. When I've gone for the like front end part, so there was a like very basic requirement of department that you should be doing everything in full stack or something, or maybe in back end or something. So like how do like what is the difference between that? For example,
So you did it for 3 months. So then mandatory is 3 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
mandatory, yeah,
Mandatory is
minimum 1 month you have to do.
1 month. Okay, so 4 weeks is what they are looking at. So what you could do is 4 months. 1 month is what you can stick to what is required from the syllabus, and the remaining 2 months probably you can hunt for something else which interests you.
Yeah. So basically like what you are having interest in, you have to do that.
Yes, that we would say, because internship is one thing where you will understand, okay, I have interest in this, but am I really able to cope with it, or am I really happy in that internship?
Satisfied or something.
Yeah, you are satisfied or you are not satisfied, or okay, I like it but I don't like it that much, probably I can explore something else.
Yeah.
So that is the time when you get that internship where you can really gauge where you are heading to or wanting to head.
So basically, ma'am, you're from CRD Cell, right? So can you tell us how does like CRD Cell help students in MMCOE?
Okay, so the CRD cell is there to groom the students, plus it gets all the students on the same, tries to get all the students on the same platform, that we don't want to differentiate that this is a topper and this is not a topper student. We want to work for the entire group of students. So for that, our main effort is we make clusters of students where we are able to understand that what is the requirement of the students, what is the requirement of the company. Then we try to gauge where a certain student lies or where certain set of students lie and what is their problem areas, and how we can address those problem areas and how we can get them to a certain stage where they are employable, where they are at par with other students from other colleges.
Okay, so basically the observations of TPs, like they are having that ideology that they can put them in the different clusters,
Yes.
according to their knowledge or something, or maybe the like interest they are having.
Yes.
So can you like just elaborate the things, like what is the format or what is the technique like you look up to that process, like to just sort that hierarchy of students?
Okay, so see, some students need business communication skills help. Some students are weak with their domain for possible reasons, that they might have not attended college or they were not attentive. Some or the other reason has made them not focus much on their domain skills. So they usually pocket them accordingly, and the assessment tools also help us to understand that where a student lies, that if he is in a soft branch, how far he is able to clear his aptitude, his coding, what are his problem areas. For core, it is a little challenging. We don't exactly understand till he really faces a company, because every company has a little different way of assessing. So yeah, that is how they pocket them, and that is how we are trying to help them. And no offense to any student, but if you are also cooperative, and if you also come forward, and if you ask for help at the right time, then we are able to provide you a solution.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a very great answer.
Ma'am, so as you mentioned in your answer right now that the students are divided into clusters, and like from the college we give them everything and we train them, but when they actually go for interviews, do the interviewers or the recruiters come back with any feedback or any constructive criticism? And if so, if yes, then what are some of the recurring weaknesses that are visible even by recruiters and even while training?
Okay, yes, of course they come back with the feedback. Every time they come back with the feedback, that because even we are so anxious when students appear for an interview or they make it to the last round, but what is it that they have not made the final cut. It makes us very anxious. The CRD team is always waiting, oh, how many have been selected? So they, for soft again, I would say the typical answer given by them is that we don't want students who are coding in Python. How much ever all of us know that Python is going to be the next big thing and students are going to code in Python and everything is going to happen in the easier formats. But for them, it is a classic filtration tool. That okay, this student is able to use the legacy the C++ or Java. So this is a strong student. That is their perception. We cannot fight with them or go against the flow that no, he is very good at logic. It doesn't happen one-on-one. So they have set criteria which comes from their central departments that these are the things, these are the parameters what you have to look into a student. Again, in this 5-kilometer radius, there are thousands of students passing out every year. As you know, the openings are not in thousands.
Yeah.
Yes.
The openings are few. So filtration point is, okay, how good is the student in the legacy? If his legacy languages are good, it is perceived that he is a good student.
Ma'am, like on this basis, I'm only having one small question. So basically, for example, recruiters are expecting something from students. So for example, there are 10 people who are going for the interview, and the recruiter's expectations is like Java. They have to doing something, like they have to choose Java for the coding round. And everyone goes and they know that it is a bit easier for them to choose Python.
Yes.
So does that process and does that choices like reflect their packages or something?
I would not say they are packages, but what happens is the chances of you going to the next round is slim. It is possible. I'm not saying, I'm not denying that if you are coding in Python that you don't have chances of getting or going to the second round. Of course they do. But then you have to be so strong in your other parameters of your aptitude or maybe the DSA or all that part, that everything has to pan out in a very good fashion so that then you go to the next round.
Okay, there might be a synergy.
But preferred is this, what we are seeing for this season. Maybe next season it is a little different. But you can't take that chance, you know.
Yeah. So let's lighten the mood, ma'am. Now, so it's a fun round, which is complete the sentence. So in this round, like we are having few of the cards. In that card, there is a sentence, and you have to choose 4 of them, and you have to complete the sentence accordingly. So it might be technical, it might be normal, it might be a fun sentence or something, but you can say it accordingly.
Shall I pick up?
Yeah, you can pick any one.
From your experience, while hiring students, companies typically look for a blend of everything, where the student has a good CGPA, the student has good communication skills, the student has good interpersonal skills, and if he is a leader or if he is going to be able to head a team. These are all skills what they look into while they are hiring a particular student.
Okay, ma'am. So you can go for the next card.
The best training and placement activity at MMCOE is, I would say, group discussion. I personally enjoy listening to the responses given by the students about a particular topic. That there are so many views and there are so many reasons what they have behind their own views.
Yeah, so basically group discussions gives a discrimination about a student.
Yes.
Like what they're thinking, what they're behaving, and what their point of view is about.
Yes, and it might not be the same point of view of all the students. So it is more interesting and more entertaining, I would say.
Yeah. So more of like for one question you're getting different POVs.
Answers, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we can go for the next card.
One thing that recruiters dislike when they look at a resume is, I would say, if there is no flow to the resume, like they want it in a more structured format.
Okay.
So your marks come in first, your project, your internship comes in next, your project comes in next. They don't like a haphazard or not a well laid out
CV is not what they are looking for. They want a structured CV.
Okay, like there should be a standardized structure.
Yes, there is, and there are many platforms, and the college also provides with an ATS friendly CV, where I think students must adapt to this. So chances of their CVs also being available on the internet and picked up is higher.
Okay, like the choice of format is more important.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Like you can say
One more, right?
2 more, ma'am.
So when I see a resume, the first thing I look at is it's the same thing, the structure and the flow of it has to be coherent. The entire resume is what a recruiter would also see. So I would go for one more. One mistake I've seen students make during an interview is just before the interview, sometimes the students are not well presented. If we categorically tell them that you need to wear formals, you need to wear your formal shoes, you need to dress up well, or you need to turn out in a certain manner, is the biggest mistake what I have seen. They take companies too casually.
Okay.
That they don't turn up in formals, they turn up in track pants, and that is not what a company would like to see. So that is one mistake what they do. Inside the cabin, what happens, even we are not aware that the company people are there, what mistakes.
So while entering, like when you're entering that recruiting part, your uniform talks like before you come.
Yes, your uniform talks, your smartness speaks.
Yeah, okay.
It at least adds up to us a few points.
Now moving on to the last segment of the podcast, it is a rapid fire round. The rules are very simple. I ask you a series of quick questions and you'll have to think on your feet, just honest, spontaneous responses.
Okay.
Moving on to the first one. If you were the CEO of an engineering company, who would you hire? A technically skilled but introverted person or a less skilled but socially engaging candidate?
Now that is a challenging question, that who would I hire? Again, it depends on what my requirement for a position is, for what that opening is. If I am looking for a person who has to lead a team or who has to be more associated or has to be very collaborative with probably a foreign client or something, then I would want a person who is more outgoing, and I will brush up on his domain skills. If I need someone who has to be into the back-end part of it or who has to be coding and who has to just do the software development part of it, then I would go for an introvert guy.
Okay, ma'am.
And then I'll brush his communication skills.
Definitely, ma'am. So second one, between internships and personal projects, which one do recruiters value more?
Again, this is the same question. It is a 50-50 answer for this, that some people are more, their orientation is more towards the project, what the student has done. And some companies are looking for interns who have done internship in their field, in their background, in their domain. So again, that would be difficult to answer, that what companies would want more.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, in your opinion, does participating in extracurricular activities impact placement opportunities?
I don't know about placement opportunities, but as a personality, yes, it does impact, because if you're doing certain competitions or if you're doing, you are more abreast and you are more updated about a few things, then what you would ideally not take that effort if you're not participating in anything. So yes, your personality enhances. Once your personality enhances, your confidence is boosted, and that makes a lot of difference when you are appearing for an interview. So yes, I would say it does help, directly or indirectly it does help.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, moving on to the next question. Certifications from online platforms like Coursera and Udemy, do they make a real difference to recruiters? True or false?
It's not true or it's not false also, because if you are very good at your domain skills, then you might not require these upskilling. But if you are lagging somewhere in your domain and if you want to switch your domain, like an ENTC student wants to get into coding, he is going to have to do these upskilling programs, or his skilling, these are not even upskilling, these he has to do these programs, is going to be essential. So maybe yes, if you want to hire a ENTC guy or a mechanical guy and he is going to get into the software part of it, upskilling might be required and these courses will be helpful. But maybe for a computer student it might not be that helpful if he is already good at it. So it's not mandatory, it's recommendatory.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, now this is the last question of this
Okay.
segment. Do you think attending a career fair or networking events improves a student's chances of securing a job?
Yes, of course it does, because once you appear for or once you attend a career fair, you at least know what are the things available in the market. See, when you go for an exhibition or when you go for a friends meet, you happen to meet new people. Similarly, in the same fashion, when you go to these fairs, you get to meet people from companies, or you get to meet other, not just recruiters but some trainers, which broadens your horizon of what is available, what is there on the platter. If you don't know what is the platter, you can't just blindly order. So it is always advisable you go for these fairs, you go for networking events, be active, try and get in touch with your seniors, that what is it that you feel that you missed out on and that we shouldn't miss out on. So these network events are a perfect event for students just before they are going to get into placement season.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, because I believe that most of the doubts have been cleared through these conversations.
Okay. So now I would like to pose a question to you. As a student, what is it that you are expecting from the college, or what is your roadmap to, or maybe you are a second year student, right? So what is it that you would want? That okay, I want that this is missing and what college is not yet giving us. We can think over it and we can see what best college can do for students like you.
Definitely, ma'am. So, ma'am, in the first year, I believe all of the first years, the time is given for them to just settle into, get used to the new curriculum. But as and when, for including my personal experience, when I went to second year, I started thinking about more on, and most of the students think about how they can develop their skills, get into more of, like you said, full stack development, learn C++, DSA and all of that. But what I realized is that the SPPU and syllabus that is given to us is a certain set of subjects that are taught to us, and then we have subjects like PBLs which require us to make projects. But now there is a bridge gap between these two things, that if I have to make a project, I have to start learning Node.js, React and something like that, which is going to help me do all of this. I have to learn data management, DBMS and everything, but this is not taught to me in second year. So if there could be some programs that could bridge all of these gaps, like right now in the computer department we have a code club, which is a club where seniors are teaching you all of this, but it is at a very small scale. But if the college teaches us and helps us in building up these skills to some extent, I believe careers and
It will
people
enhance.
Skyrocket.
It will
Yes,
enhance
ma'am.
your, okay, yes, perfect, noted. So let's see what we can
Yes,
do
ma'am,
about such
definitely
things.
looking forward to it.
Yes, and also if students come across a certain activity conducted at some other college or some other campus of ours, and you would like that we should also do the same activity, please come forward, please come to the CRD and let us know that what are your wish list. If we don't know what your wish list is, we can't really cater to your wish list.
So this has been an enlightening discussion, and it was very amazing, and we enjoyed your discussion. So before we sign off, if you have any suggestion, one piece of advice for the students who are preparing for placements, can you give it to them, please?
Suggestion would be that attend all activities which are planned for you throughout your second year, third year, fourth year for your TNP activities. Goes without saying that you have to attend college regularly, where all your lessons are done, and all your TNP activities have to be taken very seriously. Otherwise, then that difference what we want to see in a student who can be employable will not be seen if you do not take it seriously. And then it gets very difficult that in your last semester or your 7th semester to groom you and to get you to that certain level. So yeah, do your activities, do your participation in all these clubs and competitions also, because all of this helps. And attend college, at least attend 80 to 85% of college.
Okay,
And it's fun to come to college and to participate in all activities. That's all what I would like to say to all the students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your advice to the students. And it was a fun podcast. Even we both of us were like having very fun podcast with you, and hope you also liked it. So thank you so
Yes,
much.
I loved it. And I hope the students take me seriously and the CRD seriously, and do all the activities also with all enthusiasm and eagerness.
Hopefully, it will help them in the future or something. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much.